go. There we go. Okay. Let's get this party going. Hi, guys. Hi. Welcome to another episode of Hardwork, Bad Decisions. Your host, myself, will be Gilbert Smith. I'm by myself this time. This is actually kind of new for me, but I figured I give it a shot and see how it works out. Anyways, so today we will be talking about the movie I watched last night, Black Panther. And just like I said in the write-up, I won't be giving any spoilers. So I'm going to do my best to make sure that everything that I say won't give away the plot or scenes that happened in the movie. The movie just came out last night, so I'm assuming the majority of y'all haven't seen it yet. I bought my tickets like 2 weeks ago. It was sold out, so I'm pretty sure most of y'all are going to probably watch it this weekend or next weekend, during the week, whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm not going to give away any spoilers, but I'm going to talk about a few things that I found to be very interesting. And if you have any questions outside of asking about plots and characters in the movie, go ahead and shoot your questions, and I do my best to try to answer it. So Black Panther came out last night. Took my son to go see it right from the gym. We went straight to the movies. We had a really good time. I'm gonna start off and say that I enjoyed the movie. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It was one of the best superhero movies I've seen ever, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it. So let's talk about it. All right. So here's a couple of things I wrote up, man. Let's talk about superheroes, right? Iron Man, Superman, Thor, the Incredible Hulk. You could almost wrap up a majority of the X-Men except for Storm. And they have one thing in common. They are mostly white males. So that has been like the foundation of the Marvel or the superhero genre. And that's what makes this movie so special, because if you think about it, our population in this country is equal from male to female. But yet there's not a lot of female superheroes. And 30% of the population is minorities. And there's definitely not a lot of minority superheroes. So when it comes to the movie in Hollywood, as being a minority, there's not a lot of heroes that we can look up to or go watch and see ourselves in the movies. So this movie, Black Panther, for anything they did, was at least they showed diversity, and he did it in such a beautiful way. So let's talk about a couple other things about it. Before I actually go into the movie in itself, I wrote some notes here. I did some research. UCLA did a research in Hollywood, and as far as movies and how they produce and who they are produced by, they said only 1/10 of movies they are led by minority actors, and the same could be said about directors. So out of 100%, only 10% are minority for the lead roles and for directors. Even less are for writers, agents, broadcasters. And this is what we call gatekeepers. So basically, people tend to gravitate to what they're used to, what are they most familiar with. So if they are a low amount of minorities that's directing films, that are lead actors, that are producing films, then they're going to reduce the amount of opportunities for minorities to be successful in Hollywood. And what this movie did, which was so beautiful, it was a black director, a black lead actor, almost a whole black cast, and even a majority of the writers were black. So that's not typical. And for Marvel to step out of their norm to do something like this, I gotta admit, man, it was pretty cool to watch and to see. Um, because it shows that we are now coming into an age that we can have more diversity, and uh and that's always a good thing, because not only they show, like, African Americans, or really Africans, in a good light, they showed women in the good light, in a strong light, and more importantly, black women. Like, you don't see any black female superheroes outside of, once again, Storm. She's the only one I could really think of. So I really believe this movie, it transcends just the Marvel universe, just a superhero universe. It actually has some good social and political underlines that I think, if you watch it, it's going to be really, really good. One of the things that I like about the movie is that, as they portrayed some of those same thoughts, it wasn't forced upon you. It wasn't like you was watching it and it was beating you over the head and showing you how the white man is bad, or how this is good and this is bad, the right wing and left wing, or how they mistreated Africa. It didn't beat you over the head with that. It showed you a glimpse uh, uh, of what Africa could have been. And a lot of the points of the movie was showing more of people doing self-reflection of themselves. So I thought the movie was very inviting, even if you're not black, or if you are black. It was very inviting to a wide range of people, because it was just a really cool movie to watch, and the meanings behind of it, you would get it, hopefully, and you won't walk away feeling like you were just watching some political movie. I loved it, man. In the way it's centered around women, like strong black females. Like, I'm a big believer on equality. In this day and age, they show, especially in Hollywood, and the reason why I bring up Hollywood is because a lot of times we do watch movies, we watch TV shows, and we tend to believe that that's reality. If you look at a business movie, you'll typically see a white male running and owning the business. Okay. And you would say the same thing for superheroes, from the Iron Mans and the Spider-Mans and the Incredible Hulks and the Thors. Like, you just see a lot of white males. And yeah, we have Wonder Woman, which is really great. But now to have a movie like Black Panther, that although the black woman wasn't the lead role, they had a huge part. And I thought their part was so dominating, was so beautiful, that it really showcased black females in a way that haven't been shown in a very long time. So honestly, the movie hit a lot of different things. And once again, I give Marvel, Disney, a lot of credit for stepping out and not doing the same old, same old. Because, yeah, they could have had Black Panther, but they could have did Black Panther in America. And he was surrounded by, the Avengers. And it would be like one black person and maybe 10 other white people. But they actually did, like, it was hardcore. Bro, you don't like my owl, man? This is actually, my kids won this at the bowling alley. So don't hate. Anyways, it was a great, great movie. So I got to give a shout out to, once again, to Marvel, Stan Lee, and Jack Kirby, who brought Black Panther to life back in 1966, which, funny enough, I was a comic book head. I used to watch X-Men. I used to read the X-Men comic books, Superman comic books, the Batman comic books, and I never came across Black Panther. I didn't know Black Panther was a superhero until Avengers. Now, that is a ding on me, and it shows how in depth I was in the Marvel universe, especially when it came to comic books in the 90s. But I just feel like he really wasn't promoted that much. So when he came to be in Avengers movies, I was like, okay, who's this guy? So I had to go do research and find out his backstory and understand, his character. And his character is really, really cool. Obviously, as I try to navigate this without giving away any spoilers. But we know from watching Captain America, Civil War, Black Panther, he's from Wakanda. And Wakanda is like a secret country, that's kind of hidden because most people think it's just a third world country, like most countries in Africa, unfortunately. Hispanics need a superhero. Bro, Rob, I'm not going to front. Yes, they do. I can't think of a Hispanic superhero either. So I'm with you on that one. But anyway, so Wakanda is a hidden country, that has a tremendous amount of technology. They have a lot of power that most people don't know about. And the reason why they got the power is because vibranium that landed, they said like a couple millions of years ago, but they used that metal, which is the strongest metal, the most powerful metal, to create all the technology. And what they did was, because they fear of people coming in and taking the metal, whatever the case may be, they basically hid their country from the world. And by doing that, they hid not only the country, but also the technology. So for most people, they look at Wakanda as just as a third world country. So unfortunately, by doing that, by hiding their culture and their technology, they wasn't a force in the world because they wasn't able to help other people. And that's a big underlying theme of the movie, as you see. And I'm not going to go too far into that. But I do want to talk about some of the actors. Obviously you got the main actor, Chadwick, which is like, I feel like anytime they need a black guy to play a role, like especially if you're doing a biopic, he does it. He did it for 42. He did it for James Brown. He's just a really good actor that has his range in acting could go all over the place. So much props to him, and he did a damn good job. Then I want to talk about Michael B. Jordan, who I have to admit, I personally think, and you could tell me how you feel after you watch the movie, I kind of feel like he stole the movie. He was a bad guy, which, a movie like this has to have a villain. Some superhero movies that have villains, they're just bad. They just want to kill everybody, angry, but you don't even know why they're angry. Like, why are you so evil? Okay, but with Michael B. Jordan role, he was a bad guy, but you almost understood why he felt the way he felt. He was a villain that had a storyline, and they talked about his storyline. They talked about how he came to be. So his background, it kind of drew you in. It drew you in, not just with visuals, but like emotionally. You watching them, you'd be like, if I was in his seat, I'm not sure if I would do what he's doing, but I could see where his anger is coming from. And being an African American in this country and not being connected to my culture and wanting to be connected to my culture, I could see his eagerness to do some of the things that he did. I know I'm speaking very vague. I don't want to give no spoilers, but when you watch the movie and you see Michael B. Jordan role, which is every villain is a hero story who hasn't been told. Stan Lee. That's a good quote. That's a good quote, Stephen. That's a good point there. But once you watch the movie and you see his role, you would, it's kind of, you will understand why he was so frustrated and so angry. Now, some of the other actors or actress in the movie that I really love was Michonne, from The Walking Dead. Her role is so strong. Like, I watched that movie and it really showed how beautiful black women are. And then, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater. Beauty comes in all shades and sizes and races and all those good things. But once again, when you look at Hollywood and you look at the magazines and the models and things like that, you don't see a lot of you don't see them portraying black beauty. And this movie, you watch these strong, athletic, and loyal black women, and you're like, yo, that's beautiful. But I didn't know that her background was from Zimbabwe, and in Black Panther, his love interest, her background is from Kenya. So it's really cool to see that it actually got some Africans to play an African role. As Chadwick, he's from South Carolina. He's more American. He doesn't do a bad job playing African, but it's really cool to actually got some people that has a very strong tie to Africa to play African roles. It just made the movie more authentic. And like I said, Michonne, I don't know her real name. I guess I could have looked that up. I just call her Michonne from Walking Dead. But if you watch Walking Dead, you know exactly what I'm talking about. She went to NYU, and another cool, interesting piece of information: the love interest to Black Panther, she went to Yale, but both those females knew each other for over 10 years, and they actually had the same actor professor. As one went to NYU, the other went to Yale. I guess the professor who used to teach at NYU started teaching at Yale, and they learned from the same professor, which is pretty cool. All right, so what did I think about the Black Panther? If I could break it down, Black Panther to me was like a mixture of The Lion King, Coming to America, Roots, and Boys in the Hood. They had a little bit of, The Lion King. I mean, you can understand, especially watching Captain America, Civil War, you realize that Black Panther father got killed. And you could tell that at that point, he now is going to become the Black Panther, and he has to take over of being king, and that comes with a lot of stress, and that reminds me of like Lion King in a way. And then you look at it from Coming to America, as in Coming to America, Hakeem. He came to America and he had to learn the American culture. He had to open up and learn different things. And, he had his support cast and whatnot. And it just reminded me of some of the things that happened in the movie. Like I said, once again, I'm going to try my best not to give out no spoilers. But when you watch the movie, you can be like, okay, I get it, right? And then Roots, because they didn't really go too deep into slavery, but they had little parts that touch upon slavery. And the things that happened during slavery, and it made sense. And like I said, the beautiful thing about this movie that I keep saying that it had a really strong message, but on the same token, it didn't beat you over the head with it. It wasn't like you watching this movie that's like consistently telling you about slavery or consistently telling you about the civil rights movement or whatever the case may be. They had underlying parts that I think as an adult in this country we understand and possibly grow and learn from it. But it was still a movie that you could sit back and watch and be entertained without feeling like it was like some movie with a political agenda. And Boys in the Hood, I mean, obviously, without giving away any spoilers here, I had some feel, of some ghetto-ness a little bit, some hip hop culture into it, and when you watch it, maybe it's in my mind, but if you watch it or when you watch it, I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to watch it. Let me know and see if your take was the same as my take. As a matter of fact, I really want to talk about T'Challa, or whatever his name was, T'Challa. I love the role that he played because he seemed like a man that was conflicted. It's someone that was born into royalty, but he had to realize that, with great power comes great responsibility. And it's like, how do you preserve your culture and your heritage and your legacy but also having to move forward into today, current time, so you can build a strong future. Sometimes if you focus too much in the past, you get stuck in the past and you don't grow. And on the flip side of it, if you focus in the future and don't know where you come from, then you could be missing a big party. So I think the lead actor or the lead role, basically Black Panther, he did a really good job on navigating those waters. If once you watch the movies, and anytime you watch a movie like this, obviously you're gonna have a villain, you're gonna have obstacles, and you're gonna have some plot twists. And this movie seems to have all of that. But I really love the way Black Panther kind of navigate those waters and give you a little bit of everything. In the last little piece, as far as the movie goes, I can't talk too much about the villain. I said a little bit earlier, but I'm gonna go back over it. I mean, Michael B. Jordan, and he has grown so much. I remember when Michael B. Jordan, my bad, dog. Didn't mean to drop you like that. I remember when Michael B. Jordan, one of the first roles he did was in The Wire. And I believe he was killed in the first season. I believe so. But I mean, you would never think he would grow to play movies like Creed. And now he's the main villain in Black Panther, which is actually very interesting because the same director that did Creed also did Black Panther, Ryan Coogler, which this dude is a young man, a young Black director, which is very is not typical in Hollywood. He comes from Oakland. If you hear him speak, he got a little thug in him, you know what I'm saying? So like to see a man, like that make it to such a high level, especially in Hollywood, it's kind of inspiring. But Michael B. Jordan, he takes his role and I believe he make it his own in the sense that it's a little different than the comic book. So if you know the comic book story of his character, he takes pieces of it. But that's like almost any Marvel movie. They never go directly with the comic book. They stay true to some points, but kind of change up some other points. I guess it's very difficult to do a whole comic book in a 2-hour movie. But Michael B. Jordan, his role, it just made sense. Like I said, I feel like I could relate to him. I wish I could just talk about it and just tell you. But I want you guys to go and watch that movie and see if you could come back. If you probably message me or whatever the case may be, we could do another, 2 months down the road after the movie's been in the movie theater for, a few weeks or a month or even longer. And we could talk about some of the plots and stuff like that. But if you really watch the movie, in his role, it's relatable. Black Panther role is kind of hard to relate to because he's royalty. He comes from a privileged background. So although he's a good guy trying to make the best decisions to maintain his country and preserve his heritage and move the country forward into this new world order, his storyline is not what most people can relate to because most people is not born a prince. But either way, it was a really great movie. Now, the last piece I'm going to talk about is that who should go see this movie? Now, I've heard or at least saw some negative stuff in social media. People feeling like, only certain types of people should go see this movie. Only Black people should go see this movie. White people shouldn't go see this movie. That's completely ridiculous. I believe everybody should go see this movie. I think it's a great movie that has a great message. It's good acting, a good plot. I know it's my homie, man. And I think that everybody should take the time out and go check out this movie. And They do have 2 post-credit scenes, so stay after the movie and watch the post-credits because they're gonna try to connect it to the Infinity Wars, which I'm super excited about. Like, I feel like this year, 2018, we got so many great movies. And yes, I'm a comic book kid. Yes, I'm a Marvel fan, and I can't wait to watch the movies coming out because obviously Black Panther came out. I'm probably gonna watch it again. And they got Infinity Wars coming out, and then you got Ant-Man coming out. You even got Deadpool coming out. So these are some exciting times if you like superhero movies and comic books and the Marvels, the MCU. So yeah. So go watch the movie. Tell me what you think. If you agree with some of my viewpoints. I know some of my viewpoints was a little bit vague because I really didn't want to give out no spoilers. So hopefully I did a good job with that. I wish I could have talked a little deeper, but I was scared that I slipped something out. So I kept a little bit vague, but great movie. I was entertained. I'm going to watch it again. Good acting, good plots. And this really just showed Africa in the best way possible. Just a strong continent. I know it's like Wakanda is one country, but Wakanda, the movie took from a lot of different countries from Africa, and as far as their culture. So I felt like I got a good glimpse of different cultures. So it really just showed Africa in a good way, and I'm proud of Hollywood. I'm proud of the actors and everybody that supported us. So, hey man, we got one. So go check it out and tell me what you think, man. Thank you for watching another episode of Hardwork, Bad Decisions. We'll be back at it with the typical format on Sunday with me and Rachel doing another series. And I think this Sunday we're gonna give Rachel an opportunity to tell her story. So check that out. Make sure you go to the YouTube page, subscribe to the channel, check out the prior episodes. I think we got some pretty good content. So, give a look, tell me what you think, Also, if you like this episode and if you want more, once again, share this video, like the video, leave a comment. I'm going to try to respond to everybody as always. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you on Sunday.